actual name title,
yeah.
but there was a lot of mammoths.
Yeah.
Yes, and in fact, our certificates are non-professional, which is not very. I mean, I have an MSA, which is in business, and Chad has the CSC. Let's see, Masters of Computer Science. So MCS. You have a Masters of Computer Science.
MS and CS.
MS and CS, and that is potentially one that they may consider a non-professional certification. So I don't understand that at all. It's an engineering degree and a business degree. I have a bachelor's in engineering and in computer science. And Chad has the bachelor's, master's in computer science.
It's kind of interesting with this town, or with this game. The first one sounds like it's a French village or something. Mm-hmm. This one is definitely more Germanic. I mean, it looks like
they're headed towards Syberia.
Universität, like the Uni, Bergstadt, so Stadt is German for like city. Yeah.
So it's like as they're heading toward Syberia.
Yeah.
The actual Syberia.
If it means like the thing over in Russia or something like that. So.
Oh. So I don't know. You know, my daughter-in-law is a nurse, and she was going for her nursing and doctorate so that she would get so she could do like GP nurse as a nurse. So she'd have that doctorate kind of thing. Anyway, it's another one that would be considered non-professional, which it doesn't make any sense to me why they're doing any of that. And all the above it's all part of that, what you said, and we'll fix it in a couple years. Knock on wood.
It's a nice looking museum.
That's what I feel like now. Now we'll be in repair work in 2028. But it's okay to talk about it, Mike, if you want to, because where else are you going to talk about it, you know? You don't dare talk about it on a family thing. But my sister sent me a message, and she said Thanksgiving's going to be so much fun because my mom is doing Thanksgiving for the family, and they're all very much that. So, except for my sister and her husband, her children, and her mother-in-law, who started a family argument last year about the protestings that were going on. Yeah. I don't know if it was Thanksgiving. I guess it was Thanksgiving last year that caused it.
Okay, what is this? Can you do anything with it?
No.
Or is it just go look at this box? It reminds me a little bit of King's Quest VII, that when I first played it, I was determined, like, okay, I'm going to play through this game. I'm not going to look for any hints or anything. Yeah, that didn't happen. And one of the things that confused me was the game itself is like cel shaded, but the inventory items are actually like 3D rendered, which is probably pretty impressive. About 94. You're going to check on the cats.
Chloe's out there. I'll be right back.
So I actually found out later, like, you can rotate things and interact with the items, and just kind of reminded me. And that was something that tripped me up in the game, was like, I had to like pick up this basket or something, and I could interact with it and open it up, like, that's what I'm missing. So still, it was King's Quest VII was they tried to make certain improvements over things, like you weren't going to necessarily get dead-ended, which definitely could happen in the earlier King's Quest games. You could even like jump to a certain chapter if you wanted, like, okay, I'm having problems, or I'm just going to skip a certain chapter. And I came across this interesting post. Somebody was just looking back at like old adventure games, and especially Sierra games, and sometimes really kind of wondering, like, how did people live with this? How do they figure things out? And I think a lot of it is, as people pointed out, it was like, well, sometimes that's all you had, or it was very revolutionary at the time. It was very new, and I think a lot of it, game developers were just still trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, what makes for fun gameplay. If you go into an old, like a barcade, you know, with like classic coin-operated arcade games, a lot of the games are very much similar type of mechanics. You know, it's like, here's just a little shoot 'em up game or a space game, and so you kind of see a lot of sort of the same type of things, and occasionally some people will come up with something original. And even with a lot of the early adventure games, and I'm even talking pre-King's Quest, you saw kind of a lot of the things that seemed to be inspired from Colossal Cave was, oh, you're going to have a maze, you're going to be doing treasure hunting, maybe there'll be some weird moon logic, maybe some odd little RNG elements to it. And you definitely see that with some other things like that. Zork was very much kind of inspired from that, sort of building up off of the Colossal Cave, and you know, these were like some of the initial things. So what do you do with new things? And you know, I think there was another one called Adventureland. You look at Mystery House, that was going through, and you find some jewels at the end. And even King's Quest 1 and King's Quest 2 still had some of these elements of you're doing a lot of finding treasures just all over the place. So are there any fan-made games out there that are inspired by Sierra that I haven't played yet? There have been a couple of like Sierra King's Quest spin-offs that I have not played. There was one called the Silver Lining, which that one's been out for many, many, many years, and I have not played that one. And I think that one is still not complete, and who knows if it is. And I think there was another one called, was it Takes Two to Tangle or something? That looks kind of like King's Quest 7 cell animated, and I've heard that one has been kind of interesting. There's been a variety of other ones. There's actually a Space Quest 0, and that looks kind of interesting as well. So I think there are a number of those that are really still within the Sierra universes, you know, fan-made games, and then there's some that are probably definitely inspired by things. Some are spoofs, like there's a King's Quest 2 1/4, a Quest of Glory 4 1/2, and some of these were very kind of naughty. Yes, there's like a Space Quest 0, so it looked like it was built with the Sierra's like game engine from Space Quest 1 or 2, but I think it's a Windows game. But it looks like that as well. So yeah, it was done as a prequel, so I don't think it was a super long game, instead of, you know, maybe 100 some points or whatever. So one thing I wish you could do in this game is actually look at things. This is kind of a cool area. It kind of reminds me of whoops, somebody fell asleep or died. Kind of reminds me of watching some old movie of, like, you know, professor would be up here and this is where all the students would sit for the lecture. And apparently they've got at least a screen, so yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of other fan-made games where it's something inspired or in that flavor of things, versus things that are like fan-made versions built in those worlds. There was actually a project I was sort of on called Hero 6 that was intended to be a kind of like a sequel to the Quest for Glory. And so I was sort of part of that, and it just goes to show the challenge of trying to make a game, that you really need to have a lot of coordination, you need to have the right talent, people that really are trying to create it. And I've even seen Like the anonymous game developers, they actually did a couple of remakes of some of the King's Quest games, of King's Quest 1 through 3 and Quest for Glory 2, and they did an amazing job. And it just goes to show that even sometimes trying to remake an old game that seems like this is relatively small can be still a ton of work. That even King's Quest 1, the overworld, you know, the entire game itself is still like 80 some screens, and even the overworld kind of area is like 48 screens. There's a fair amount of screens though that there's nothing on it. It just connects from point A to point B, which is some ways like they probably could have saved some space by getting rid of a number of these rooms.
This one, I don't know, I guess you must do something in the lecture hall.
Yeah, I found this box, but
that was it,
seem
right?
like it does anything, you know. It just said interact, and that's why I went down there. And
you've answered this question, right? Any fan-made games out there?
Yeah, I was talking about like Space Quest Zero, some of the other spoofs.
Yeah.
And other
Space
ones.
Quest Historian often explores all the different fan-made.
Yes.
So if you're interested in checking that out.
We played Heroine's Quest.
He's quite a character.
Yeah. We played Heroine's Quest a couple of, about a year ago or something, year or two ago. Mm-hmm. And that one definitely is, that's kind of like what Hero 6 probably was trying to shoot for. That here is very much a Hero's Quest or Quest for Glory inspired game, but it was set, you know, effectively in its own universe and things like that, but kind of built upon a lot of that ideas and that feelings of things. They're independent devs, or they want to remake old games with newer engines like Unreal. Do these newer engines help make older games easier to make? I think it depends on what you're trying to do, and there are things like it depends on the type of game. Like Adventure Game Studio has been around since I think about the 90s, and that has been developed very much to focus on making adventure games, whether it's like a LucasArts or a Sierra style game. So I think there's a lot to that which has been developed to help try to make this and focus on those types of games. So there are certain things, especially listening to some of these older game devs who made games back in the 80s and 90s. Now they're coming in and it's like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool that some of these tools that are out there are really nice, but it also depends on what is the quality of what you're trying to do. When Lori and Corey Cole started a Kickstarter to make Hero U, initially they were just trying to make it sort of more like this tile game and something quite different, but it sounded like a lot of the fans wanted something else, and so they ended up having to kind of make this a lot more 3D, and they ended up using I think it was Unity. And, you know, then they found other challenges sometimes, like, well, we need to update our Unity engine from 4 to 5, and it breaks a bunch of stuff, and then you spend a bunch of time having to fix all that. So it's a mix, but there are certain things that you think about. Photoshop didn't come out until like 1990, and before that it was like Deluxe Paint, or you look back at the original early Sierra games. They used, I think it was called a VersaWriter or something like that, to help trace these initial drawings and translate them into drawing instructions for the Apple II. So
I'm going to try to speak to them.
I remember them, yeah. Are these the three pirate leaders?
These are called the Rectors.
Gentlemen,
3 pirate leaders.
awfully bothered to have to disturb you again.
A bothersome disturbance indeed.
We're
Which
busy.
I may add disturbingly bothers us. No bother, my dear. We're listening.
At the Rectors.
I have heard you wish to meet the owner of the train that is currently in your station. May I know the reason for your summons?
We are surprised that your train has not yet left, miss. The situation is most regrettable. The rules do clearly state that trains are meant to come and go and not remain stationary at a platform.
Train should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
These guys, is that the mayor from Munchkin Land over there? It's all, I mean, this is the way they talk.
Can you possibly help me out here?
Miss, your insistence is almost verging on indecency.
We cannot constantly be at your disposal.
face
We
is
have many other requests
not-
to attend to. If you don't mind, could you not disturb us all the time? Thank you.
Your face doesn't have
So
mustaches.
these are the rectors I was talking
The idea
about.
of the station aviary is really very original.
It's the pride of our university. One of the specialties taught here is zoology, you see, and more particularly, ornithology. Proper study and instruction should not be limited to books. Observation of living matter is indissociable from theoretical questions.
It contains some very rare specimens that have been brought back from far away exotic countries, especially for our university, by the world's most intrepid explorers.
Do you remember Alexander Balambois and his peculiar bird?
Absolutely. His gift produced some very embarrassing long-term consequences.
A poison chalice indeed. It must be said the situation could have been much worse, however.
Oh, yes, it could have been
Why you don't
terribly
introduce
problematic.
foreign things at times?
Okay.
So
So
talk
they
about
know
Hans. I wanna hear
Hans
this.
Does the name
Volberg.
Hans
Yeah,
Vogelberg
all
mean
the-
anything to you by chance?
Mammoths.
One of the brightest, most idealistic intellects to have graced our university. Hans Vorarlberg. I remember speaking to him once. I was still a student at the time. He just stared at me, lost in thought for a while. He scarcely ever said a word. But how can one forget him?
Idealistic?
Walking around with no pants
I'll
on.
grant you that, but bright. Oh, don't go too far. He was completely incapable of passing any exams. All he ever did was to sit in on lessons, and not many of them either. Paleontology.
Love it.
He had an unhealthy passion for mammoths, which matched the state of his intellect perfectly. That is to say, prehistoric.
Prehistoric? How dare you? A little far-fetched, maybe. But he did have flashes of intellectual brilliance, comprehensible only to high-minded scholars who all know score by appearances. My dear colleague, your hasty conclusions are somewhat cavalier.
My assessment is wholly accurate. The boy was a little odd. You must concur if my father, who was rector of the university at the time, had not shown great indulgence towards him. Hans Vorarlberg would have never attended this establishment.
What about the fancy?
You missed.
Is that
He
the
missed
word
you,
that
but he got me.
mind? Even after all these
Good
years,
job,
you're
Mike. That's a
still
good one.
jealous of it.
My dear colleagues, I beseech you, let's show some decorum. We have a visitor. What do you want with Hans Vorarlberg, miss? Are you a member of his family?
No, not at all. I'm looking for him to clear up an inheritance matter. Is he still here?
What? Here? At the university? No, not at all. He left a long time ago. Yes, a very long time ago. The very year I was nominated to this position, in fact. Almost 50 years ago already.
Oh, you just missed him, Kate.
Once he learned all he needed to know about mammoths.
This establishment was never quite the same after his departure, it must be said.
You mean to say it was never as bad? All that oddball brought to this university was his misplaced fantasies.
Gentlemen, let's try to retain the calm and level-headedness that befits our position.
So this game has been remastered from the original 2006 game, I
Or was it
believe.
three?
I don't know. Maybe it was 3. We have the box. We have to go look it up. So that
It
was
says 2003 on the box.
2003. Definitely.
What do we got in here? I don't think we
So,
inspected it
as I
last time.
said, Medicine Hat, this has been remastered just this last month, released. And it's been a long time since we looked
Yeah.
inside the
A
box.
fairly strong box, mostly cardboard.
So, Dreamcatcher.
Step by step through walkthrough with hints and solutions. Oh, that's the if you want to order one.
Right.
Yeah, kind of like old. Yeah. Okay, we got the CD bonus CD. Ooh. Making a Syberia movie, Syberia game trailer, Syberia game teaser from 2D to 3D desktop wallpaper. Ooh, we got a poster on here too. Oh, this looks like it's gonna be familiar. Haha, that's kind of cool. Nice little feelies. We just saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we are in
There's
the
the
game
university.
right now.
Yeah, we got the, here's the mammoths and stuff like that. Oh, I'm going to guess that's what it looked like initially. So it was not quite as crisp here. Kind of reminds me of Longest Journey level graphics, but it's not bad. Oh, here's more advertisements. So the game itself.
Game.
Okay, yeah, that was a bonus CD. So here's 2 CDs plus this bonus CD.
We're gonna point out something weird.
Riddle Sphinx 2.
They had this size, and it was the Game of the Year edition, is what I'm holding in my hand. But we have Syberia 2.
More game instructions in here.
And it was the bigger box.
Also the Adventure Company Dreamcatcher.
We also got that at Best Buy way back when.
Oh, yeah. Here's the, like, keepsake that was also published by or distributed by the Adventure Company / Dreamcatcher. And yeah, I remember when I was here. 1658 North Milwaukee Avenue, Suite 450 in Chicago, Illinois.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I recognize Milwaukee.
It's gone
Avenue.
now, though. But
it's like so many companies come and go. And
this was interesting how we never had a really big box of the game. We only had a little box of the game. But that makes me think we got the game after it became Game of the Year.
Yeah, if it says Adventure Game of the Year. So, and this was also at that era, a lot of the games were coming in these smaller boxes, and we have... So most of these that I'm pointing at are the smaller boxes. A lot of the other games we have here are bigger boxes, and of course they were different sizes. Whether it was a big collection or something, of course there's... Oh, it does have the gatefold. Oh, that's kind of cool. And we had like our Half-Life collection. It's bigger than her head. I think this is the one that, it's taped up. We bought it and some kid tried to open it and rip the poor thing. We were not happy.
No, right off the bat, we got it home, and the dang kid ripped it open. I was not happy about that at all.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm going to top off my drink.
Okay, Chad's topping off his drink. I'm going to try to get us moving on some more. And we got Alex complaining because he wants to go outside. We did use a kitty on kitty time. Can you guys remember when he was little tiny? And
not
now
very
look
long.
at him.
Not very long.
He didn't stay little.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
When we brought him in, that was about as little as he was.
Now he weighs, 9-10 pounds?
We have to look at the...
He went to the vet, and they said he was really healthy and definitely very...
That's good.
And you could
Well,
tell
he's only 2, but...
he's solid.
Oh, yeah.
He is
like his daddy.
Tooch predicted that Alex was going to be a big kitty, and
he's not super
he was
big.
right. He's thick. He's not like super huge, but he's pretty good size. I mean, he's very full of muscle and very solid. Anyway, kitty time in it with my crazy kitties. And now we have up to 5 outdoor cats that are all, and I've got them all named. I've got 5 outdoor cats, and the 6th one we consider ours. So 6 outdoor cats, really. But there's Sunshine, Thomas Sunshine, who is the one that he basically lives on our porch outside. He doesn't want to come in. I open up the door. I say, Thomas, Sunshine, you want to come in? And he will, like, he's tried to cross over he was trying to cross over the threshold, and he's done it a time or two. And Chad even said he walked into the kitchen, which is right by the outside door, but he doesn't want to come in. And then we have Creamy and Dreamy. Creamy Dreamy, that's a white and orange cat. So we named it like a dreamsicle, Creamy and Dreamy. And there's a black one, so I named it Blackie. and then there's a gray one that's called the Gray Kitty, and then then there's one that's orange, and he has been in the backyard a time or two, and I haven't seen him in a couple days, but his name's Pumpkin. And finally, a consistently always visiting one that's called Sunbeam. And he is kind of a cream and orange. He's not where Creamy and Dreamy is white on the body and orange in spots on the back and on the head. Just spots though, because mostly the cat is white, and he has come to the front door. So we don't usually have cats at the front door. We have them in the backyard. And so we're seeing cats in the front, we're seeing cats in the back, and we truly are the crazy cat house. All right, let's move this game on. Anyway, I know that was probably like boring, but it was fun. And as far as recovering from yesterday's stream, so after yesterday's stream, which ended around 7 something at night, I think. Was it 7, Mike? 6:37? It was a long stream, and I was irritated because I had missed a part and had rode over the top of with a suspend point that did not save something, and yet I had the Master Sword, or not the Master Sword, the Noble Sword. And the Noble Pursuit sword is what it's called. And so luckily, yeah, X was there to help me. And I miscalculated how long the Hero's Cave would take. And that was my bad, because there's still at least another hour of Hero's Cave, not Cape. And you cannot do the Hero's Cave until you have Rock's Cape. So it was a frustrating stream, and sometimes the jumps were right. I came off that, I talked to Chad about it. Sometimes you press.
Maybe still doing that fire thing.
Yeah, I mean that's
maybe
possible
you were
too.
guys, if your hands would be like.
It was a very frustrating stream. I told Chad that it was just. So I definitely needed the
somebody
night
saying
done.
like, yeah, imagine trying to play this as a kid or supposed to
And
be
not
a kid.
having any suspend points and stuff. Because I even asked X, I think it was. I had Devore in the morning, who knew the game and was able to help us. I had X in the evening to help me with the evening stuff or play, and all of it required precision jumping. And somehow knowing you could let go. The worst thing is I had this room full of holes and small platforms to land on with Rock's Cape. With Rock's Feather, you can do a much more precision jump. With Rock's Cape, you fly over it and fall down in the holes. So that's why I was getting really frustrated. It's like, okay, what am I supposed to do to make these little tiny platforms? And then let's add one more element. Let's have wall masters coming after you while you're trying to jump through this room and hit all 4 buttons, and everywhere is like platform hole, platform hole, platform hole.
Are you almost done with the game?
I
You look like you have almost all the hearts.
I am nearing the last 2 dungeons.
Last 2. Are you sure? Because it looked like you only have one more heart.
Hero's Cave is the one I'm currently in.
Oh wait, maybe if you have all the hearts.
Yeah. And you had...
For the whole stream, who's as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop capillary?
I wouldn't say that. I think you're more like, give me the relief I need. But you did remind me, it's like, Mel, it's getting, you've been going for a while. Hello. But I get that. You know as well as anyone that I get very stubborn and want to keep going on. And when I realized there was at least another hour, then I definitely we gotta go in the library. Okay, so now we're gonna head to the library here. We're gonna leave
Here
these
we are,
guys.
busy chatting, and look at the clock. It's tea time.
Already? My word, doesn't time fly by?
Thank you for a charming visit, miss.
I couldn't remember the name of these dudes. So yeah, sometimes I just
Make
need.
sure the showing the video.
It is.
Okay.
Sometimes I just need the reminder that I, literally just need to move on. But also, it was Saturday night. I had nothing planned as well. I think the library might be here. Which if this is the library, it's a really cool room. There you go. So we are looking for a needle in the haystack, Chad. We are looking for a book.
Is this going to be a library in Indiana Jones?
But it's not. But man, this is a really cool library. There are still students here. You can talk to this person.
He's dead
Excuse
too.
me. Can I disturb you a second?
Shh.
You could be a little bit nicer about it.
Herschel.
Keep quiet. In case you haven't noticed, it's somewhere that requires silence and tranquility.
Just because I love to bother people.
Hello.
Shh, don't talk so loud.
I'm sorry, but I was wondering if you could help me.
We'll talk to the Geico Gecko instead.
Don't stand.
None of your business. Now, if you don't mind, I am trying to concentrate. I haven't got a lot of time left before Professor Ponce's next tutorial.
We need to attend that too.
Would you mind working elsewhere, please?
Don't stand so close to me. This is what I want.
Oh, can you get that box too?
So, read The Memories of an Expedition by Alexandra Valamoz. The red Amazon cuckoo.
Ah, okay, maybe this is the bird they're talking about.
The subspecies of the common Cuculus canis is endemic in the Amazon forest and is one of the region's most brightly colored species. The male's plumage is a bright vermilion, while the female's is a little more russet and neutral. And that's common in birds. You almost always see
Peacock
the
versus a
male
peahen.
be very bright and vibrant. But I understand it has to do with mating. Like
They gotta impress the women,
they're-
you know?
Yeah, or scare away other potential suitors.
Like the male cardinal's red, the female one is kind of more of a brown.
Mm-hmm. Robins are the same way. And just, even parrots. They all have a similar type of
And
thing.
the peacock versus the peahen is very much like that, so.
The new game, coming out soon. Geriatric Jones and the Golden Walker of DC. It should be the Golden Toilet of. Well, I like the Golden Walker.
Yeah, by the time, I think the Dial of Destiny was decent.
Yeah, that was
liked
actually not so bad.
I liked it better
than the one before that.
Yeah, the one before it, but there are some things.
Crystal Skulls.
Yeah, the first three movies I think were. Excuse me. I think the first three were all great, and maybe there is a certain part where sometimes you just leave well enough alone.
Yeah.
Even though unless you really can, bottle that lightning.
Yeah, I would watch
there are
it.
cases where.
I've watched it again.
Thank you.
All right, the habitat and food.
Dial Destiny, I would watch it again. And I think it was at least a good way to kind of wrap things up and how you kind of saw how things ended. In some ways, it makes me think of the Rocky movies. By Rocky 5, that one didn't feel nearly as good. But fortunately, then there was Rocky Balboa, and I felt that was a much better way to kind of end the Rocky saga of okay, here's Rocky, he's in his 60s or whatever, his wife has passed on, his kid's an adult, and where do you go as a former athlete? And I felt that was done well, and it reminded me so much of the Mike Tyson fight from a year ago, and I was amazed no one ever really brought that up or made the comparison of here you have Mike Tyson, who was a 57-year-old former prize fighter, and fighting this much younger guy.
Right, and just trying to see if the old lion could roar one more time. Indy will get the relic and make it home in time to be in bed by 7:30. 7:31. Okay, habitat and food. Red cuckoo inhabits the more isolated and denser areas of the Amazon forest. It is reliant on the thick upper foliage of the rainforest to live its lonely existence. The explorer may nevertheless have an excellent view of the bird when the animal ventures to the lower branches in search of the forest Sauvignon grapes. The wild vines provide the bird with a majority of its food. The cuckoo is particularly partial to its juicy fruit. That's a gum. The red cuckoo may sometimes gorge itself on this fruit to the point of drunkenness, rendering it an easy prey for any jungle predator. Eat and be eaten. Such is the implacable law of nature. Like any other species of cuckoos, the red Amazon cuckoo delegates the task of raising its young to other birds. Yeah. This parasitic behavior enables the species to reproduce prolifically and with minimum effort.
Slacker.
Well, it's kind of like, with the penguins, it's the males that raise the babies. The emperor penguins, anyway. The female cuckoo scouts its territory on the lookouts for its nests under construction. She chooses the moment when her owners are absent to lay her eggs, generally in the afternoon. The host, meanwhile, will lay mainly in the morning. After laying an egg in her selected nest, the female will remove one of its host's eggs, destroy it, and eat it later. Yeah. The cuckoo's eggs generally hatch before the eggs of its adopted brothers and sisters. The cuckoo chick will instinctively edge the other eggs from the nest. The young cuckoo grows fast. Sometimes its foster parents will perch on the back of the hungry chick to feed it. Even if the cuckoo's egg is very different to the smaller host eggs, it nevertheless mimics the host egg in certain ways, not perfectly, but just enough to be accepted by most species. So once again, the red cuckoo's love of the grape could sadly prove fatal for the species in the medium term. European settlers who have tried to cultivate the grape on the Amazonian alluvial plains have decimated the Amazon's red cuckoo population. Grape producers, to protect their harvest from what they would call intermittent looting, have declared an all-out war on the bird. It is to be feared that the cuckoo will be on the losing side. The red cuckoo reproduces relatively well in captivity and is one of the jewels in the crown of the Berchtesgaden University ornithological collections. However, the scientists at the universities have their own reservations about the species and its propensity to become practically invasive whenever conditions are favorable to it, to the detriment of other rare species. Heads of the Berchtesgaden aviary have therefore undertaken a policy of birth control to attempt to balance out nature's imperfections in this artificial environment. So once again, we see about the forest Sauvignon grapes. Today it is very rare to find the forest Sauvignon grape in the wild. The species has been decimated by a terrible equatorial phylloxera epidemic. However, in Europe, successful cultivation of the plant is the pride of the Berchtesgaden University Botany collection and has largely contributed to the survival of the species around the world. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the Sauvignon grape.
Get the birds drunk or something like that.
That is the goal. It seems kind of cruel, especially since it's going to prove fatal for the bird.
No, it just gets drunk. So it was saying, like, it effectively makes the bird tipsy or something, which then might make it easier, a more susceptible prey. So unless Ozzy comes by and bites his head off or something like that.
And this is what it looks like.
What if Foghorn Leghorn was like that?
Back. Okay,
pick up
so
that box over there?
we can.
Okay.
So the bandstand box is now once again, and we've learned there's going to be a lecture, and we already know about it because we were invited to it. You just weren't up there to hear that part. And let me just make sure I didn't miss anything else. Though we got the memories. Okay, we do need something else here. So somewhere, hunting the pixel again.
Oh, that radiator reminds me of something I was talking with my coworkers about Meow Wolf.
Yeah.
And somebody was talking about just the amazing detail, because somebody was talking about like there's a radiator in one spot, and if you look inside it, there's like a little town that was built inside of it, and it's like, oh, that's just a great little touch to things.
The amount of cleverness in the Meow Wolf is just. I'm wearing a Meow Wolf t-shirt right now.
You can probably go to that just so many times
and still miss stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things you could probably just spend an entire trip. Just
but I
one
think you
small
also
area.
have to have the mindset of creativity and the weird. As we found out, not everyone likes Meow Wolf.
Just as not everybody would enjoy probably a typical art museum. Like,
exactly.
Oh boy, there's a painting of a bowl of fruit. Maybe hover over all the books or something real quick. I don't know. Find an instruction manual on how to fly a biplane.
So hold on.
Whoop, Indiana Jones game. Sorry.
Okay, so we've learned about that. Go back upstairs. Look for a ladder. We're looking for a ladder.
And go whee upstairs.
Yeah, but then you can go upstairs the other way too. So I think it's going back this way. That's by the one of the creators of oh god, what is that? One of those weird anime kind of things.
Oh, okay. Well, that thing kind of reminded me of Panic has published a number of games, and there's like Thank Goodness You're Here.
Maybe it's
I think there's another one called Arco. There's another one.
What did you say it was? Wish you were here.
Thank Goodness You're Here.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, there's the ladder, right?
No.
I think it's just.
No, those are just dividers on the bookshelves.
And we can't go any further though.
Look on the left. Here we go. On the ground.
Maybe.
There. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Now we're moving.
And we're moving.
You got to find a spot on the floor where you can click on.
Okay, tank control.
Well, that's where the other part of the room.
Well, just keep going around the top.
All right. That's what we're trying to do. We're looking for a ladder. Go to the fruit you like. I love a good pineapple, Honeycrisp apple. Chad is a big Honeycrisp apple fan.
Oh, yeah.
He is like every morning he puts Honeycrisp in his oatmeal.
Yep.
I've learned also to kind of do the Honeycrisp, but not, I don't steal from his fruit. So
Yes, she does.
I do a little bit. I'll be honest. There's a ladder. Okay, take it over. Oh, you want me to keep clicking? So luckily the game, you're not doing too much. So this is the Illustrated Dictionary of Plants and Mushrooms.
Yeah. I actually found out my mom is allergic to like raw pineapple. Like, so you can't eat it, but you know, if it's canned, that's been
She's also allergic to pecans.
something like that.
Yep. Don't ever serve her pecans. The Friends of Berstock University, but she's not allergic to all nuts.
Yeah. We're kind of funny with like honeydew and cantaloupe. She loves honeydew.
Yeah.
I'm kind of indifferent to it. She doesn't like cantaloupe at all.
I don't like.
I'm okay with
I've
cantaloupe.
gotten where I'm eating it a little bit more often when it's available, but I'm not a fan.
I mean,
of
I
it.
much prefer a good watermelon, but watermelon,
Yeah.
if it's not ripe enough or if it's too wet or it's been soaking in water, then it's not as good.
And I've also learned to like bananas more. I
Bananas
do
are great.
quinoa, millet.
That's not
banana. Well, that's my breakfast. Quinoa, banana, millet, a fresh fruit, some nuts, almonds, the hazelnut nuts that Mike got me for my birthday. I've been using those. And then take like chia seeds, flax, and not supposed to eat chia seeds every day though. I found that out. The Yangacola is a mushroom without stem that has a chewy texture. So I also like pineapple, but I found sometimes it like stings my gums if I have like I bit my gum at night while I was sleeping or something like that.
He's a member of the
polypote family and grows exclusively on the trunks of certain trees in the Amazonian jungle. While it is edible when young, the Yangacola has a woody texture and an insipid flavor and offers no great culinary appeal. Native Amazonian tribes, however, are very attached to the mushroom. Why they are so fond of the fungus that has taken extensive scientific research to
figure out.
elucidate. Well, we use a lot of big words, but of course it's supposed to be like a university book. So biologists have reached the conclusion that the Yangacola contains certain substance that is unique to mushroom. The substance significantly affects vision and enhances its acuteness enormously. Amazonian Indian hunters discovered this effect and started using it centuries ago. The Yangacola, is that
I think that's a typo. Yeah, there's been a lot of typos.
The Yangacola is dried and ground to a powder and consumed before the hunt commences. Its effect is instantaneous and its penetration of the hunter's vision increases extraordinarily. The hunter is then able to aim and hit targets concealed behind thick undergrowth, even over great distances.
Hint, hint, they're saying, do drugs, kids. Start tripping balls on mushrooms.
All right, so no mushrooms. So there's pictures of the mushrooms in the Amazonian tribes.
Yeah, I'm really kind of wondering about some of these transcriptions. Like, did they just use like some OCR or something that just really sucked, or somebody typing? I think somebody is typing things because there was something that was supposed to be BY, and they typed BU, and that just really looks like somebody just mistyped it. And it's like,
okay, now we're gonna go what we wouldn't have known because we've already gone, but I'm gonna move it on. Is we're gonna go see the rectors again.
Okay, I'll go over there if you want to go take care of Wink.
Take care of Wink. Oh, is it time? Yeah, I guess so.
Tie her up, throw her outside.
And we'll be back. Enjoy the antics of Chad.
Okay, good. Double clicking causes her to run.
You could ask Mike what his wife likes for fruit.
Yeah. So what about,
Oh, mango is another one she's allergic to.
What, my mom? Oh, never heard that one. Supposedly my mom doesn't like or is allergic to mango?
Gentlemen,
I don't know.
I'm awfully
Blah, 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 blah. Okay, Sauvignon. Okay, yeah, it sounds like a nice
You
little
wouldn't know
raper.
if there is any Forest Sauvignon here in Barrigstadt, would you?
Absolutely.
When he says absolutely, he means, of course, absolutely none. What we mean, of course, is that we are absolutely positive there is no Forest Sauvignon here in Barrigstadt.
Really? Are you sure? Because I read in a book that Barrigstadt possesses a number of plants. I wouldn't mind getting a hold of some if possible.
Out of the question, miss.
The assistant director means to say that our priority is for you to remove your train from our station. Your research will have to wait until your next stop. Yes, that's right. Your train must leave the station immediately, so please refrain from wasting our time in needless visitations.
Don't forget the regulations, miss. Don't forget them. Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. And quickly.
Here we are, busy chat already. Thank you.
And thank you to...
It really just does remind me of the Munchkins so much, Positive. Ooh, can't go wrong with good tuna salad sandwich. I think it's just a tuna sandwich, but actually I had part of a chicken salad wrap for lunch this past week, and I had the other half I was gonna eat later or bring home, and I forgot to bring it home. Shh, don't tell my wife. She probably would like that. Did get some of the, there's like these kettle chips, they're called like uglies or fuglies or something, which are kind of interesting. So it's taking like the potatoes or sweet potatoes that aren't like, you know, perfect looking, and they just, you know, use those to cook them up and turn them into chips and things like that. Like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you know, for certain products that, you know, especially if you mash them up or turn them into chips, fries, whatever, it's like, yeah, I mean, you're already doing stuff to them, so it doesn't have to look like the perfect thing, which there really is a lot of that. You go to the grocery store, and there's a lot of that really good looking produce, but, you know, they would probably be selective, especially something like a tomato, and some of the tomatoes we've grown, it's like, yeah, they'll have like kind of little spots and stuff on it, so it won't be perfect looking. And this looks like my kind of like a chemistry class. All right. Yeah, we got some vents here. Interact. Oh, what's this? Interact over here. Oh, sweet. I'll just, you know, steal this, and I'll go play it on my train. Yeah. Oh, this looks like kind of, oh yeah, there's the mushroom. Hey, you got any mushrooms? Gotta go take a trip. Oh yeah.
Do excuse me, Professor.
Even those...
Professor, sorry to disturb you again.
What is it you want to know, miss?
These benches are even like, oh yeah. I try those chips there and not sold here. Yeah, I have to see where they're from. I mean, my I got those from my work cafe, and they have like really fancy stuff. It's nice. It's definitely one of the perks of the job is they have really nice cafe and food, and so I'm not sure where the Fuglies or Uglies chips or whatever it's called are based out of. I'd have to see if it's something local or if it's just kind of more like a smaller type thing that maybe you can only find in certain areas. And it's kind of interesting with, you know, you could go probably anywhere, you know, depending on, like, you could find Doritos pretty much anywhere. But then there are certain types of things, like once when I was living in Montana, and Melissa would have to, I think she kept talking about Jay's chips, like, and most of us are like, what are you talking about? Are you talking about Lay's? Like, no, not Lay's, Jay's. And there was another person that had like lived out east or something. Oh yeah, I remember Jay's, and you know, the rest of us are like, what are you talking about? And even my favorite type of root beer, found out that's more of a Western thing, and it's harder to find in more of the Eastern
I would have
portion.
loved to study at a university like this.
You have a degree already.
Oh, to start learning, my dear.
Yes.
Maybe, but you know, the eternal student and all.
You prefer being an eternal liar.
I have more important things to deal with. Live problems, not things that died millions of years ago.
Oh, you're too good for dead things, huh?
Priorities, my child.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So, yeah, I was reading the autobiography of Duff McKagan's, the bassist of Guns N' Roses, and it's kind of interesting. He's talking about, like, after he left Guns N' Roses, he started, he was trying to learn more about kind of doing accounting and the business side of things, and so he started taking some classes at like a community college and stuff, and really just started getting into it, you know, types of things to keep himself very busy and active, and just started taking those, and then he actually took enough classes and then went to a university to start getting like a business degree. And I think some of it was to better understand the accounting and the business side of the music business and be able to actually kind of take a look at some of the paperwork and see, like, were we getting screwed? You know,
You
so.
told me earlier about a lecture on some ancient Siberian tribe called the Ooks or something?
The Yukos, my dear. Careful not to confuse them with the Ukistran people of Central Asia.
Do excuse me. I wanted to know if your lecture is going to start soon.
Your eagerness to learn delights me, my dear. But I haven't finished studying this marvelous mammoth effigy yet. Don't worry, I will call you. And see you later.
Arriving in Barrackstadt is an amazing experience. I've never seen such a station.
Question mark?
Came by train.
Yes, in a kind of clockwork train with a spring mechanism that winds down regularly.
You mean you drive a train? Young ladies of today never cease to amaze me.
Oh, no, I'm not the engineer. The train's engineer is actually an automaton. I am sorry, all this probably sounds very strange.
A clockwork train, driven by an automaton. I once knew a man long ago who could have invented such a train. It was he who designed the bandstand in the main square. To think that he was even capable of creating such a gadget. He was astounding, a true genius. But oddly, at the same time, he was also almost a child.
Hans
His
Vorarlberg.
mental and physical evolution had definitively halted at the age of 10. Can you believe that?
Yes. I think I can believe that. At least I'm beginning to. My train stopped in a peculiar aviary. It's very odd. A lot of bird species seem to seek harbor there.
Ornithology is far from being my favorite subject, but I must concede that the station is the pride of the university. It was initially intended for teaching purposes, but then birds started arriving from all around the world. It seems that there are still rare species breeding there and flourishing.
Are there? Can you give me an example?
I like that cuckoo thing.
I have been told about a kind of bird with peculiar habits. Let's see now, the Amazon cuckoo, that's right. But, oh, I'm so foolish. I can't remember what was so special about it. Just that its behavior is very peculiar.
Well, that's why we read a book.
Where's the Amazon? What is the Amazon?
I'm sorry, my dear. One cannot learn everything in a lifetime. Specialization is the key to real knowledge. Why don't you pay a visit to our library?
Thank you very much.
Some of these various rectors and professors kind of remind me of the scientists on Scientist Island in Quest for Glory 5. Or even a little bit of Dr. Cranium from Quest for Glory 4. But going to guess Amazon is just them trying to make up a new place to indicate the Amazon. Like, yeah, that sounds close enough.
If I were to say Forest Sauvignon to you, what would you say?
That's the secret password.
Sauvignon. Sauvignon. I would say it's some kind of tropical shrub, don't you think?
We are talking about the same plant then. It is a very rare shrub with small, juicy fruits. I found a book about the Amazon, and it says that there are even Sauvignon plants growing right here in Barrackstadt. You wouldn't know where, would you?
Amazon Sauvignon plants here? No. No, I don't think there are any. Highly implausible. But, you should ask the station master. He's keeper of the greenhouse at our university, so he could tell you more than me.
Okay.
Oh, thanks very much.
Yeah, there's our hit there. Okay.
I feel I've lost my way a little here. I could really do with your help.
Oh, my dear child, you've chosen your moment. I absolutely must finish off my lecture for this afternoon.
It's a lecture about mammoths?
Oh, yes and no. More specifically, it is about their migration. Do excuse me, I need to concentrate.
Concentrate.
I'll leave you in peace. I hope I haven't disturbed you too much.
Oh, completely. Knocked me off.
No, not at all, my dear child.
Completely knocked me off my game, so. I don't know what he's talking about with that. But, okay. Let me see. Can we save? Continue. Okay. Maybe it's just sort of automatic saving. Yeah. can I not go through this door? Okay. Guess that's what we can do here for right now. Yeah, it's probably been about 20 some years since I played this. And I think there was maybe a version of this on the PlayStation that Melissa played, I think, a while back. There were 2 tigers. Ooh, hey, ooh, pick up the litter. Ah.
There's plenty of tuna if you want some later.
Okay. I talked to a professor, and he recommended talk to the station master about those gray